What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, as you can see, the man known as The Truth, newly crowned 3-belt unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer, Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr., who is widely considered by many to be top 3 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, coming off of not even 72 hours, full hours, after dominating and winning the World Boxing Association, better known as the WBA title, from former welterweight world champion Cuban star boxer Yordenis Ugas Saturday night via 10th round stoppage victory, in which he broke Yordenis Ugas' right orbital bone to get the stoppage victory and pick up the belt. With that said, Errol Spence is back in the gym training. This is Tuesday. On Tuesday, that was just Saturday night, April 16th, Arlington, Texas, Dallas Cowboys Stadium, better known as April 16th, Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. Day in Dallas, Texas. So as you can see, Errol Spence Jr. is completely focused on his biggest rival, an undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terence "Bud" Crawford. Terence Crawford is 38 wins, no losses, no draw, 29 big wins by way of knockout. He is 34 years of age, 5'8", with a 72-inch arm reach. Errol Spence is now 28 wins, no losses, no draws, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 5'9.5", with a 72-inch arm reach. Errol Spence is already back in the gym preparing for Terence Crawford. Now, every day since that fight, post-fight, Errol Spence, he called out Terence Crawford, told Terence Crawford, "I'm coming to get that strap from you," okay? The next day, he put up a post of a big fish as the Grim Reaper knocking on everybody's door that held the belt. Number 1 was Kell Brook. He had the door open with the belt hanging on the door, the IBF. Number 2 was Sean Porter. He had the WBC belt hanging on the door with the door open. Number 3 was Yordenis Ugas. He had the WBA title hanging on the door. And number 4 was the door was closed and it said TC, Terence Crawford, on it. And he was standing at the door knocking on the door. So he let it be known, "I'm coming for this belt." Then he made shirts of that, okay? T-shirts and merchandise of that big fish as the Grim Reaper. And then yesterday, he puts another post up, okay, calling out Terence Crawford once again, okay? So now, just to back up everything he's doing and saying, he's back in the gym, doing mitts, doing mitt work, working with a trainer who is also his sparring partner, and Marvelous Jarvis, okay, who's also a trainer as well and has his own gym, okay? So he's back in the gym, back training, back staying sharp. We know he was out the ring after he unified the titles against former WBC two-time welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Showtime Sean Porter, September of 2019. He suffered a horrific car accident, okay? He was out the ring for 14 months. He came back December 5th of 2020. He took on 2-division world champion Puerto Rican superstar boxer Danny Swift Garcia. He dominated him. And then he was scheduled to go into the pandemic hit, the global pandemic. He was scheduled then, he was out the ring for a while. He was scheduled then to come back against 8-division world champion, legendary, iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny "Pac-Man" Pacquiao, August 21st of 2021, but he suffered a broken nor detached retina and saw him pull from that fight. He didn't make his ring return until April 16th of 2022, so he's been out the ring for quite some time. In 2.5-year span, he's only fought twice now, okay? And so he's staying sharp. He put up a post. He stated that, you know, there was a few hiccups along the way, but he's back on track. He's looking to face off against Terence "Bud" Crawford, okay? And he's staying sharp, okay? In the fight, after the fight, he stated that against Yordenis Ugas, his timing was off, his accuracy was off. You know, he was a little eager, he was a little anxious to, impress the crowd, impress himself. Obviously he was tested in the fight. He made, like he said, a few rookie mistakes in the 6th round. His mouthpiece was knocked out. He looked for the mouthpiece and opposed to staying focused on the fight and protecting himself for all time. Got clipped with a 2-punch combination, dropped him into the ropes. Okay. He made it clear, my timing was off, my accuracy was off, I was ring rust. Okay. And so immediately, as you can see, he's back in the ring, back training, back working out, and preparing himself for this biggest fight in the sport of boxing. And it's now for Undisputed. He stated he wanted to create history. There's never been a 4 major sanctioned belt holder, Ring Magazine, lineal champion at the welterweight division. Now, Terence Crawford, he's one of only 6 fighters in the history of the sport of boxing to hold all 4 belts in linealship in the division. He did so in the junior welterweight division, okay? And so now Terence Crawford is looking to do it for a second time. Terence Crawford has extremely long arms. Terence Crawford has knocked out his last 10 opponents. Terence Crawford is a dog. He has a ring IQ. He has the ability to switch from southpaw to orthodox if he need to. He's accurate with his punches, a lot of power. But now Terence Crawford is 34 as well. Terence Crawford, he has been out the ring. He fought November 20th. He fought 2021. He fought Kell Brook November 14th of 2020. Okay, and prior to that, he's been inactive himself. So he's fought in this span since 2019 due to the global pandemic as well, a total of 2 fights, just like Errol Spence. So he's not as active either, okay? And he's older. And by the time this fight happens, Terence Crawford turns 35 in September, okay? So he's 3 years older than Errol Spence. Terence Crawford is a gym rat, always in the gym, always focused. And he hears the call out, and he has very competitive nature with power and a skill set to back it up. So this is what many people are considering to be our Tommy Hearns versus Sugar Ray Leonard, or Hagler versus Hearns. However you so choose to look at it, it looks like it's going to be an iconic showdown. And Errol Spence is playing no games. He let it be known that prior in the past, in between fights, he would let himself balloon up in weight, then have to have weight loss camps. He was his own nutritionist. He wasn't focused. He was enjoying the fruits of his labor. But now he's completely committed to the sport of boxing. He has hired a nutritionist. And as you can see, he's already back in the gym, so he's not going to allow himself to balloon up in weight. He's looking to make this fight happen with Terence Crawford ASAP. This is what we look for. We saw footage that Terence Crawford this past week is in the gym, okay? He's training. He's up in Big Bear, okay? He's already focused, but that's nothing new. Terence Crawford is always focused. Terence Crawford is always in the gym. Terence Crawford is never ballooning up in weight. Terence Crawford is always in shape. So this is nothing new for Terence Crawford. This is his wheelhouse. It's something new in our eyes when it comes from Errol Spence, okay? This just lets you know the magnitude of this fight. This just lets you know how serious Errol Spence is taking this fight. This just lets you know that Errol Spence understands what's at stake, okay? And the fact is, we already know Terence Crawford understands what's at stake. We already know the mean streak in Terence Crawford. If there was a mean streak from Errol Spence, there's a chip on Errol Spence's shoulder. Okay, the rubber is going to meet the road here because the chip on Errol Spence's shoulder is just as big as the chip on Terence Crawford's shoulder, okay? Terence Crawford feels like he has a lot to prove because he feels like a lot of people have doubted him, okay? They doubt his resume. They don't feel like he fought the best opposition, nor does he pursue aggressively the best opposition. Terence Crawford has a point to prove, not to mention Terence Crawford feels like people are doubting him when it comes to Errol Spence, okay? He don't want to come, he's not second to nobody. So Terence Crawford, he wants to be considered the best welterweight in the world. He knows he got to beat Errol Spence to do so. And you can best believe Terence Crawford don't like to hear that Errol Spence is the best welterweight in the world, even by his former network and promotional company, okay? He was with legendary promoter, Top Rank CEO and promoter Bob Arum. And Terence Crawford, when ESPN put their rankings up, they had him the number 2 best welterweight, and that's the network and promotional company in which he fought for. They had Errol Spence at number 1. So you best believe that motivated Terence Crawford. And Errol Spence, the doubt. People started doubting him. He's not going to be the same after suffering that horrific car accident. His eyes not going to be the same after suffering a detached broken retina, okay? And so with that said, he feels like a lot of people was pushing for Yordenis Ugas, pulling for Yordenis Ugas, feeling like Yordenis Ugas can compete with him. He had a point to prove. And now he feels the same way when it comes to Terence Bud Crawford. So the rubber is definitely going to meet the road when these two meet up and match up. And that night is going to be electrifying. It's going to be epic. It's going to be legendary. And I absolutely cannot wait for it to take place. So you can see Errol Spence is already back in the gym just 3 days later after having his fight. Not even a full 72 hours. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue. Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV. All one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
This is Amanda, the Real Deal Serrano, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.